Okay, so I'm here today speaking with Honey Mittal from Locofy.ai. Hey, Honey, great to meet you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the chat.
Hey, Peter, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's an honor. I'm looking forward to have a chat with you. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So we've connected in our group, the SaaS Founders Facebook group. And one thing that struck me was the challenge that you're going on building your product. So you have quite an innovative product which helps bridge the gap between design and development implementation. Can you tell us a bit about your product, what it does, how it works, and who it's for?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that. Yeah, so Locofy is basically a low-code platform. We are essentially, our goal is to help speed up engineers and developers and basically product development teams to achieve their goals and launch their products much faster. And we do that by converting your existing designs into code. So rather than you leaving your existing design platforms like Adobe and Figma and Sketch, or moving away from your frameworks like React, Next.js, React Native for mobile apps, Flutter, we basically adapt to your existing design tools and stacks. So think of us as a plugin within Figma and Adobe that's already live, and Sketch is coming soon, where we take your existing design files, and after your designs are done, rather than engineers writing the front-end code from scratch that could take them weeks or months in some cases, we make that process like a day or half a day by converting your designs into front-end code, where you can take that code and then focus on writing the back-end code and integrating, rather than spending the time on doing both front-end and back-end. Right. So that's what Locofy does. And yeah, it's a problem that we decided to solve for ourselves. Me and my co-founder, our background is in building products for travel, fintech, health tech, and this is one of the areas where we felt, after having built for all platforms, that this is a time-consuming product. Designers and engineers never really like to spend time on those fine-tuning of pixels and making things responsive, and we felt there was a big opportunity to kind of help solve that problem.
It sounds great. We're at UserActive, we're a product design agency. So we always design software. We work with Figma, and we're always handing off our designs to developers. So we have this back and forth often with the design and then the implementation with developers. So we're going back, checking the designs, and there's a few revisions on ensuring the implementation reflects the design. So sounds like you're solving a really great workflow problem for design to production. What kind of code do you receive at the end once you use your Locofy plugin to export some code? I assume you have HTML markup with CSS.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. So it's essentially the front end code. We will still give you the code. We will organize it into like pages and components. We give you the flexibility to just also only take the component code itself, and then essentially just plug it in along with your APIs. In future, we will go deeper into that and make it more than just pure front-end code. But right now, we are focused on making sure that front-end code works exactly the way you designed it. So when you run it on the final product, the experience is not different from what the designer envisioned it. And I'm sure you've probably felt that when you design something, the approvals you got on the design versus the final product, when you see it a few weeks or months later, there's a lot of back and forth between designers and engineers. So not only are we helping people save time from writing that front-end code, we also give designers that surety that even before you hand over the designs to an engineer, you can already start to kind of see what the end product will look like on code. Not just a live prototype that you can run on InVision on Figma, but actually what it would look like and work like and feel like when you run it on code, even before you hand over anything to the engineers.
That sounds really cool. What's been the market reaction to your product so far?
Yeah, so we've been live for less than a year. We launched on Christmas night actually last year, so about 10 months in. The first 5 or 6 months, we were even though we were in open beta, we didn't really like spread the word as much. It was all organic through the Figma community because that's where we launched earlier. And we also ourselves knew that this is not a problem that you solve as an MVP and like it's really solved. So we were looking for feedback. We got some awesome feedback, and we've been iterating super hard. the feedback we got in the early days was from designers, and we focused on improving the experience and making sure they can add media queries and do all kinds of animations and tags and everything. But I think 3 months ago, we launched on ProductHunt, and that's where we became a bit more mainstream. So we now have users in 185 countries, including designers and engineers. And now the composition of our sort of users is more engineers than designers. So the feedback we received recently is a lot more coming from engineers, and we know we have a long way to go, obviously. But about 75% of our users tell us that we've saved them at least 60% of their time, and that's obviously a great feeling, because saving engineers time in today's time, where engineers are difficult to find and almost impossible for some early stage startups and expensive, is a great feeling. But we also know that this is just the beginning, and we have a long way to go, and we are hearing our community's feedback on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, we've kept the product for free for the same reason, because we believe we have a long way to go, and we don't want to avoid getting any feedback by adding a paywall. But yeah, like, we're super grateful for the feedback we've received, and we know exactly where we have to go in the next 6 to 9 months, and hopefully get to a point where it becomes a part of the day-to-day of product building.
Great. Oh, it sounds like you've had a good response to the product so far, and it almost sounds like you validated this market need. How did you launch your ProductHunt campaign, and what kind of success did you have there? Were there any learnings that you could share from that experience?
Yeah, quite a few. We frankly didn't think much of the ProductHunt launch. Our expectations were we'll put in the best effort, but we were not really chasing any awards or anything like that. We just wanted more feedback. We just wanted the velocity of feedback to be a lot more faster, and also get like more balanced feedback from engineers and designers from outside of our networks. So we went in with a lot of preparation, but we didn't know what to expect. But yeah, what we did was we didn't launch on ProductHunt straight away. We waited for 6 to 8 months to first solve for some of the blockers and some of the problems and some of the feedback, and also build a community of people who would be happy to kind of like support us when we went live on ProductHunt. We did everything that ProductHunt recommends, like a founder's video. We went with the launching soon page as well a couple of weeks before the actual launch, so that helped us build a bit of a subscribership. Joined a lot of communities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, to kind of also make sure that when we launch, a lot more people can support us. But yeah, like, I think what really helped us from ProductHunt, just for everyone to know, like, we did much better than we ever imagined we would do. We got the product of the day, product of the week, product of the month. And then we also basically got developer tool of the week and month, and also design tool of the week and month. These were the 2 categories we went for. And what it also did for us was we got a lot of users from around the world, including product managers, designers, engineers, and a lot of them started tweeting about us right after launch. So what it did was, to your point, it validated the need for it, but also it proved that not only are we solving a problem that people want and care about, but the product in its early days was at least not disappointing people. We got a lot of feedback on where it can go, but the code quality, especially that we produce, actually, if anything, surprised a lot of people, because it has been tried before, and people are generally not happy with the code quality eventually. But yeah, like, one of the things we learned about ProductHunt was just be prepared. Like, there's a lot of literature today out there on how to succeed. Don't go for these. There's a lot of schemes out there to like get votes. All of that will not help you. It might help you on the day itself, but at the end of the day, you want real users to upvote and try your product and give you feedback. Just make sure you are genuine. Share why you build this product itself in the first place. Don't go for like a fancy marketing agency video. Do it yourself. Make it real. Reach out to people who you genuinely feel would be end users, and not just people who would go and upvote you on a certain day. And at the same time, like, if you can, first try out the product with and build a community who can actually go on that day and support you. Of course, goes without saying, you solve a problem that the ProductHunt end users care for. ProductHunt is mostly product people, engineers, founders, designers, and I think the problem we are solving for resonated with them. and secondly, build a product that actually does what it says it can do. But other than that, yeah, a lot of growth hack learnings that we got as well. We really there was no group on Facebook of React engineers, Reddit, communities that we didn't reach out to. And we just made sure that for the 24 hours that the campaign was live, the whole team was online. Even though we were down with COVID, the whole team was online, responding to comments, feedback, questions, and also making sure that if any traffic spike happens, you're there to kind of solve for that, because a lot of people have had that issue where they went to sleep, woke up, and realized that product was down for 12 hours. So yeah, this is just basically some learnings, and yeah, just keep it genuine. I really believe if the product that you're building has legs and the team is genuine, you will see the results.
Yeah. Oh, great. I love to hear your experience with ProductHunt. It's very popular with launching a software. So there's some great learnings there. We just have 1 more minute. So I'd like a very brief answer if you can, but I know your product's free at the moment. How do you plan to monetize that as you keep growing?
Yeah, I think right now the focus is very much on making sure that we validated it's a problem that people want to be solved. Now we want to make sure that we solve it to the point that people use it week on week, month on month, and it becomes almost like synonymous with other platforms like Mixpanel, Firebase. Any product builder should want to have Locofy as one of those products, and it will take us some time to get there. Figma kept it free for 6 years, I think, if I'm not wrong. So right now our focus is on getting good feedback that makes the product better before we even think about charging people. Once we ourselves as engineers and product builders feel hand on heart that it solves that problem end to end, and we have our community that also tells us, then we can think about charging at some point.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. Hey, Honey, I wish you all the best with Locofy. It sounds like a great product so far, and I'm excited to see how you grow. For anyone to trial the product or try it out, do you recommend they go to Locofy.ai?
That's right. You'll find everything over there. It's a plugin, and you can also reach out to us on our Slack channel, which you can find out on Locofy if you need any help. And our team is all over there to support you.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for talking with me today, Honey. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me, Peter. Take care.